Hello, good evening, good morning, good afternoon. I don't know where you're watching from. Hi, good to see you. Welcome to another episode of Candid Conversations with Liz, and I am Liz. Thank you for being here. I see one, two. Okay, that's fine. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining. And on Candid Conversations, we talk about everything marriage, relationships, life. I mean, blend of cultures. In fact, one of them, I don't know where to place her. Seriously, that's the lady. I've already said her, so I've given it away. I don't know where to place her, but you're going to hear it for yourself. I think we can go right on to introduce our guests for today. Hello,
Hello,
can I
this.
meet you, please?
Okay, so do you want to talk first?
No, ladies first.
Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Esther Kolade. I'm a humanitarian worker, a voiceover artist, and a spoken word poet. Diversity, of course. So yes, my dad is Nigerian, but my mom is half Zambian and half Zimbabwean. And I spent over a decade in Zimbabwe. I did my primary school, my secondary school in Zimbabwe. And I came back to Nigeria and I studied French.
So please, where do we
So
place you?
I'm an African.
Okay,
I'm an
that's a
African.
lot going on. Wow. Okay, so in one word, what would you say marriage is?
Marriage
Now, to you
is, to
personally.
me, marriage is conscious commitment. Like,
Wow.
I say conscious commitment because a lot of us tend to forget a lot of times that okay, yes, okay, you know you're there, you're sleeping up, you're waking up to someone and everything, but it's beyond that. It is consciously committing to someone despite everything. So I think that's it for
Yeah.
me. Conscious commitment.
Wow. Beautiful. The man with the beards.
Oh, yeah. Hi, everyone. My name is Muiwa Kolade. I'm the husband to this beautiful
Yes,
dame.
yes,
So,
yes.
yeah, I married her and husband of one female wife. She has not changed her gender. So, I'm a Yoruba man from Ondo State. And, yeah, and basically, today we'll be speaking about our topic. You already know, you've already seen that on the flyer. And that's just a brief about me, and today it promised to be a swell time.
Yes, it
Learning,
does. It
yeah.
does. So please, uh, don't forget subscribe, like, share. Okay. Let me see. Okay, we have some people already. Emmy Kings of Fam. Hi. I see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's go. Yeah, I like the spirit. Sonny, yes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Thank you for the countdown. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you. Yeah, so best conversation platform on the planet. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Ofem. Thank you so much. Real talk always. Yeah, that's why we're here.
Yeah.
To bring you real stories. We're not just picking stories from internet or these are real people giving candid real stories about what is going on in their lives, just so that if you are also experiencing something similar or the same thing, you can always have, kind of like a way out or a way to manage the situation. You understand that, right? Okay, so yeah, we'll go right into it. So I'm wondering, with all your plenty, how did both of you meet?
Well, it was in NYSC. And by the way, he wasn't as full as he is now.
Okay.
I mean, he was so. It's someone
Skinny.
that told me I was going to marry him. I'm like, he was so slim. His belt could go twice around his waist.
Wow.
So
That's a fun fact.
so yes, to God be the glory. God has helped me to plump him up.
Oh,
Yes,
shit.
thank you. So we met in NYC. I remember he walked in. We had this. We served together. So we had this prayer meeting that we would have every lunch break on in the organization we were working. And while we were praying, this slim guy walks in. He's so lanky. and he just comes and he sits down there. So I open like one eye, I'm like,
While you were praying.
I'm telling you, I open my eye like,
Ouch.
is this? And of course, I aligned with the spirit again. But then as time went on, I noticed that he loved discussing God. And when I mean discussing, I'm not just talking about vain conversations. I mean conversations that build, conversations that edify. And the first time I spoke to him, I was like, you know what, let's go grab lunch together and let's discuss this particular topic that we had finished discussing in Bible study. And that was it. So we were friends for a year. Throughout NYSC, he was dating someone, I was dating someone.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're totally
Yeah, but God had a different plan.
Wow.
Yes. So he left for a year. He left for a year. And then when he came back, this man was fuller. I was seeing something. I was going on here.
Oh my God.
Something like that.
And after he invited me for this not a couples retreat. It was like a
Relationship
seminar. Yes, a relationship seminar. And and he came with his girlfriend then. He's like, oh, come, just come. I'm just, how you have a relationship. I just want to invite my friends. This time there was no talk about relationship or anything like that. So I, went with the friend. His girlfriend was there, and I went and sat down that side, and they were sitting that other corner. And I think, did she stay throughout the program?
Nah.
She didn't stay.
God had a different plan.
I did not take it from her.
Okay, no, because I was
No. Lizzie, fix your eyelash.
I was gonna get there. Like, what happened?
No. You guys broke up.
I wouldn't know. A story for another time. So
They broke up, and then later on, he came to me. He invited me to church. Invited me to church. He said,
Glory
"Okay, let's
to
go
God.
to let's come and attend my service." And we attended service together, and there was a restaurant opposite the church there, and afterwards, we're talking, he is, all of a sudden I just see he's nibbling on one rubber band. I mean, I did not know that you could bite a rubber band into that time. He was so nervous. And then he's like, okay, he wants a serious relationship, whatever relationship that he wants to get into right now. He wants it to lead to marriage, and and there was just this commitment that I saw, and I was like, okay, let's give it a go. That's how we just started.
Had you broken up?
Oh, since.
Were you both inspired to break up?
No, God is not an author of confusion. For another
What was
thing,
the inspiration? Because both of you broke up at
yeah, that's why he
same
said
time?
like God is not an author of confusion.
But we
So
didn't
you
even
can't
know
be
when we
there and
broke
here.
up.
You can't be here and there. So God had to let your eyes be single. Like he said that your eyes may be single.
Okay.
So
I get it.
yeah. So how we met, I think a different view.
Yes, because I was going to say that it's always different.
Yeah, unfortunately, we were not close friends during our NYSC. We were just that brother sister who loved discussing scriptures. And
from there it
yeah,
starts.
Never
I
even
love
came to
talking
my mind.
during the Bible study at work and all of these things. I think I was on my desk and I saw a message. Can we have a discussion over lunch? I said, yeah, I'm in. So we went there and I said, let us pick a verse of the scripture just so we speak about it. And for the first time, I saw a lady who was different from what I've always known conventionally. So we went there, and because she was the one who instigated the outing, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to pay for our lunch." Oh, okay, that was like a purple flag. And I was like, "Okay, this is what they pay." So she didn't want to ask us to go Dutch. You understand? I was like, "Okay, yeah, I take you out." I was like, okay, that's cool.
That's
Fine.
cool, man.
So it was just
Wow.
I knew there was this person he was with, and I was with another person. So we weren't having a conflict of interest. We weren't wanting to date or
Yeah.
anything. But I traveled, so I came back.
Fuller.
Unfortunately, or fortunately for us, and coincidentally, we had some mutual friends that we're not aware of. So I went to see my friends in their office. She happened to be working there, and she walked down. She saw me like, "Oh, wow, me, you and this." They were amazed, like, "You guys know each other?" Like, yeah, we serve
you
together in the same
shy?
organization. for the first time, she ran to me, and as a gentleman that I was, I didn't want her to fall, so I
You ran to
carried
her.
Oh my God, I did not run to you.
She ran to me like,
And then you just.
We ran into each
grabbed.
other.
I grabbed, and
Wow.
and what I
How
touched, what
thoughtful
I
of you.
and what I touched, what I saw,
It's
I knew
okay.
that God was here. So and from there we became friends and all of that. So, and about the story, she said, yeah, I was in a relationship, invited somebody. I think I've shared it before, even at our wedding. I shared it on a platform like that. So it was a beautiful one, and yeah, here we are, over 2 years.
Two years.
So how long did you court for?
3 years,
Yes.
2021 to 20.
He was
no,
very
2018.
certain.
Yeah, 2018 to 2021.
Yeah, from the onset, he knew the year he wanted to get married, and he was like, okay, it's 3 years, and so there was no. So even when the pressure came in between here and there, I've been dating for such a long time. We knew where we were headed, so it was like, yeah, this is the year we want to get married. I think we even had the month down, but of
Yeah.
course, family and all of that. I think sometimes they just do that to make sure as well we are not pregnant or anything. But yeah, so we got married in November.
Yeah.
And yeah, by November we will be 3 years
Nice.
with a baby girl.
Yeah, my friend. Amazing,
Yeah.
amazing. So, what was it like during courtship? Was there a culture shock during courtship, or was it after marriage?
It hit me after marriage.
Okay.
During courtship, you, you don't spend. Okay, we spend time, but you don't spend as much time. And like most of the time that we spent during courtship was either maybe we're going to church together, or we had mutual friends, like he said. So we would do activities, we'd go swimming, we'd do different things, and we'd have like these important. So there were some important conversations that I told myself I wanted to have. So, for example, on issues around gender roles, on issues around, I didn't want someone that, you just expect the woman to just do everything and then you're just seated on the couch. So, what I deemed was important then, okay, for example, the gender of children. If I have girls only, are you going to have a problem with that? Or what? So he told me that, oh no, in fact, I want my first child to be a girl. Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
So
proper man.
so he was ticking the boxes of criteria that at that point I was like, okay, yes, this is the most important. So culture, and then another thing is culture. It didn't really come out as much because I felt we had a lot of similarities.
Okay.
Last born and the last born. It was when we got married that I realized that his last born is different from my last born. His last born in according to like Yoruba culture is different from the way I was raised. So it's like I said, a marriage reveals things, it makes things,
True.
it amplifies things. True. So yeah, it was definitely in marriage that I was like, okay, we finna be different. we're a lot different.
Yeah.
There are lots of.
So for you, was there any
Yeah.
culture shock?
There were lots, and considering where she was coming from and where I was coming from, a full-fledged Yoruba man, yeah,
I see that again.
and she being an half-baked Yoruba, an acclaimed Yoruba person who never understood the culture.
Yeah.
I was bred here. I lived all my life growing up, and the lot of things from the conversation, belief system, the things you do for fun, the things you eat, all of that. There were a lot of differences.
But they were exciting.
Yeah, they were exciting. Like I
That's
said,
the difference.
one of those things is me hearing my wife speaking with her mother, who has not been Nigerian for a very long time, and because of the kind of relationship between them, I don't know what ensued between them on phone. There was a conversation, and mom was talking with my then girlfriend, and my then girlfriend was telling her mom, "Mom, that thing you were saying wasn't making sense," and the mom was trying to explain. And me, Yoruba man, like, I told your mom, you're not making sense. The mom is trying to explain.
Which was you can have like
So something like that, like from them, they speak a lot of English. From us, you have to, even your English, it has to be respectful, yeah. So,
but the
things like
context,
that.
yeah, but the context is to me saying, well, that doesn't really make it's not something that she would take as offensive. It's okay, my daughter is sharing an opinion and then she's giving her thoughts on it, and then she would also. So it's not, we don't
Well, from the culture I'm
consider
coming
it.
from, it doesn't have to be contextualized. Mommy, you are not making sense. Whether it aligns with the context or it's outside of the context, you are first wrong. It is called you are sure first wrong, sha. But for them, it's something they do, and it's kind of funny. And you look at the food they eat and the kind of things they do. So there were a lot of shocks, but I was trying to like, okay, I can understand that at least we have 3 years, because from 2018 to 2021, like she said, we knew when we were going to get married. 21. I told her from the outset. Shout out to my nephew Brinks. He was there all through the process. I told her like, no matter what happens, if I eat a jackpot between now and 2021, I'm still not going to marry until that year. I will be mentally ready. I will be ready like what I want to be. So it was that beautiful. So we were able to plan a lot of things and all of that. So there were things I was trying to, okay, over time I'll be able to manage it. So all those cultural, were they shocked? Yes, so they were shocking. There are some
When we
things I
got
saw
into
from,
marriage.
yeah. To
Okay,
her maybe in marriage.
so you will tell me the shocking things in marriage right after I acknowledge my viewers. So just hold that thought and be thinking of how to hear the real gist, the juicy one. Those very
Okay.
shocking
Okay.
ones that got you like, oh, what have I gotten myself into? You know? Yeah, those aha moments.
Yeah, aha.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, I have here Ajisefe Olawale. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much. I have Victoria Sunday. Say, I'm happy to be here. We're happy to have you too. Thank you so much. Prime Flow Consulting Services. Thank you, sis. Thank you very much for joining. The B Nojis family. Hi guys. Thank you so much for joining. And he says, see how my guy is smiling. Yay.
Yeah.
Okay, Ajisafe Olawale says that's how it always begins. Olushola Abdul Kadri, thank you so much. I see you. Thank you. Culture Smiths, Ibinabo, thank you very much for joining. Humorous couple. Ah, yeah. Neng, that's glad. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much. Please, if you haven't subscribed, I'm going to be repeating this. I'm going to be reminding you, and also please like. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, so we're back. Who do I start from now?
Let him start.
Okay, please take the floor.
Okay, like I have always said, this thing about marriage, I think I was sharing it, and like I've always believed, it is not out of context to actually read a lot of books or to have people you pattern your life after in just wanting to be like I model my marriage according to this person because of the years they've been together and the kind of things they're able to achieve 40 years, 30 years. So when those people speak to you, you want to pattern your life with them. You want to read a lot of books just to prepare yourself. However, I've always said this, and it has been my notion that a divinely orchestrated marriage still need an earthly maintenance. So regardless of how you think a marriage needed to be, like a picture you have in your head, you have an input you have to put in yourself.
True.
Are there things we saw that we thought like, we've heard a lot of stories be like, God said you're going to be my wife. So whether she has excesses or this and that, you shouldn't take them, you should manage them and do all of this. No. God also expects, creativity is an expectation from mankind to God. Like the blessings from God to us, but creativity is an expectation. If He gives you, just be creative about how you do things. That's how we can give back to Him. So a lot of things we saw, like the food. I'm the person that's very picky when it comes to food. Like I used to say, I don't eat a lot of food. I'm very careful about the things that pass through my mouth. But anything that passes through the mouth, my wife can take. She likes experimenting food.
I have no
limits. She experiments a lot when it comes to food. But like me, I don't have a lot of common food that I don't even eat. So I think the first thing was my first visitation to Greta. I know she made delish because I was coming around.
Delish.
I tasted garlic and I tasted ginger.
Spices.
And to the glory of God and benefit of mankind, this doesn't sit with me.
Spices.
But from spices, you can use salt and Maggi.
So if that's another, yes.
This thing will still be nice.
So
this thing will still be nice. So she gave that, and I've been like, no. You know what? The food is nice, but this thing, I don't like it. And from March, like that's how she grew, and she has to be. She's big on spices and all of that. But me, a guy with I went to Federal University where we have beans day. You don't need to do. You don't need to do a lot of things. Just do it simple, but
The beans
just
has to
present
be
it to us.
creative. So for me, it's okay. Like from what he's saying, he grew up with simple spices, so it can just be Maggi and salt.
Simple
But for
is
me, I
class.
believe it has to be layers. Because there's goodness. So you have there's the garlic and ginger you put in there. There's the spices. So he loves beans. He loves
So much.
beans so much. And there's a time when we got married, I was so excited. I'm like, oh, I'm making my husband his favorite dish, And I threw in, crayfish. I
God.
threw in,
Oh my
all
God.
manner of beautiful things that were there. And, when I'm like, this is good. And I'm there, shaking my waist and I want to deliver this thing to him. He just tastes it.
Oh my God.
Not once, not twice. And he was like, when he now said, he kept complaining about it. But I'm like, no, I'm doing this out of love, This is, you should enjoy this. This is Africa.
Just make it simple. And
So
something that
he had
also
to now
baffles
make-
me is
yeah.
from where she was coming from. Beans is food that is offered to outcasts.
No, not
In Zimbabwe, okay, don't let me call them outcasts.
Okay.
In Zimbabwe, Zambia,
No, it's not outcast. It's just
a kind of visitor you don't want in your house, or you want them to leave on time, or you want to prove to a visitor that your
not
presence is not
wanted
wanted
here.
in this house.
Yes.
You offer them beans. And you're coming to a man whose life is dependent on beans as food. So for her, the kind of effort she thought she was actually making wasn't. You are doing too much.
So
Can you
it caused
make
issues because where you see where that I would bring a drift, because I'm thinking I'm doing something out of my whole heart to impress him, and then he's thinking, but this is not what I want. You don't see the efforts there. So I was like, you know what? Just cook it yourself. Let me even see how you. And literally, I think he put like 3 things in there. I think there was just palm oil,
Onions,
salt, onions. And I'm like, and when I tasted it, I'm like, this feels like what I came from. This is the punishment that they were talking about,
Nah.
But he was so happy to dish this big bowl of beans, and he's like, yes, this is. So because over the years, we realized that, I can't not. So I just say, you know what? You be cooking the beans for us.
Yeah,
So
sure.
that peace will just reign. And that's when the unity really comes in, that compromise and all of that. Another thing
But on a more
was,
serious note, when it comes to beans, I'm a pro. Like I cook this thing premium. You know, right? You can attest to that. You can even tell people.
you take that
if I
to
make it a business, people should patronize
take
me.
that to Southern Africa, they would not come to your shop.
Well,
That's the diversity we're talking about. The other thing was the language.
Okay.
So another difference. So initially, the pronunciation of things, they're like, oh, she pronounces things so cutely and all of that, And then so I have a way of pronouncing things, that is different from the way he pronounces things. So for example, in Southern Africa, we don't say Milo, we say Milo.
Milo.
We say Milo. In
Milo.
Yes, we say Milo.
that's the Milo we drink. Oh,
We
normal
say
Milo.
we,
Which Hausa man we use meat and say Milo?
You understand?
we say cucumber.
For cucumber. In Lagos, it is. You can't go to a shop in Lagos or in Ibadan or in Ondo State.
Opera Milo.
No, I want to buy cucumber. If the person selling it tell you, I not get them. You're not like, this is what I want to buy.
But it's cucumber. It's
Okay.
cute. So initially, he would tease me about it at the point, but in marriage, I'm really trying to express myself with these pronunciations that I am used to, and then you just go, not today. They have come with the pronunciation, and it made it difficult for me at a point to want to freely express myself, because I'm like, but this is how I grew up. This is how I want to express myself. This is how even with the speaking. So where I grew up in an environment where women are considered extremely outspoken. Kind of comfortable with something, you say, okay, you have a conversation around it. Okay, so I don't agree with this. Look at it from my opinion. You're just having this conversation and you're outspoken. I don't come from a family where you just accept yourself and say, yes, that's how it is. And it caused a lot of issues before, because even with the lingua, like I said rightly, I would use some words. So, for example, I'll say, "Mui," this word that I don't like what you said. I feel it's derogatory. You'd be like, you have insulted me today. What manner of? Why would you use a word like? And I'm like,
it's too heavy a word. Like I did something, just derogatory. Imagine about syllables.
About syllables.
It's too long. It's too long. It's too long to adjudge. Just say it simple.
So yeah, things like that. That's the diversity of we're talking about, because there was no fixed, these different ideologies, different. Although of course the standard for us was Christ, which is that really what helps.
And let me
us.
just come in from the language that she just said. I remember the first time I think my nephew was around, so she said cucumber, and that's when we literally walk up to me all the time. Cucumber, any small thing, cucumber. I'll be like, guy, can you just call? You're making fun of this, right? Then I remember us having a conversation at one point in time, and I was saying something that wasn't aligning with our thought pattern, and she just wanted to give a kind of insight, a different view, and she was like, from the standpoint of what I was trying to explain, you were being sensitive. Oh,
Ouch.
saying to. All I picked there was there is sense in that way that you said. Insensitive, like I not get sense. So that's how it appealed to me. Do you understand? So that's how it appealed to me. So that was our early stage. You are being insensitive. Like, how will you tell me or your husband do that? I'm being insensitive.
Yeah.
You can use a better word. No, I did not agree. I don't agree with what you say. How will you tell me I'm insensitive?
Will you talk to your pastor like that?
Will you send it to our pastor like you are being insensitive? You say that. You say that to anybody. So you not be like insensitive. So you have to now sit down and be like, okay, what do you mean when you said insensitive? Okay, this is what I actually meant.
So
I wasn't saying it because I wanted to be rude. I was saying you are being insensitive because you were not at that point. You were not showing enough.
Oh yeah, I have to break it down. That's another
so we have
thing.
to understand.
Yeah, so I have to break down my language. So now I was tempted to say I was break down my lingua. Then you say lingua now. She has come. So you have to break down my language to the barest minimum. So so that he understands without taking offense. Because I understood that words that I use, or words that we use where I come from, are not necessarily, we don't mean
offensive.
They're not offensive.
Yeah.
But from the Yoruba angle, they come out as being rude and at a point in time it actually caused quite a lot of issues. We're laughing about it now and all of that, but it did cause a lot of issues and stuff, but over time.
Yeah. That is the language.
But how have you been able to merge both cultures? In fact, I don't know if I should call it both cultures now or the multiple cultures involved, because this one alone has 4 inside of her. Yeah. So were there challenges when trying to merge these cultures together, how trying to infuse everything and come up with one?
Yeah. Okay, not that I wasn't being angry at some point. At the early stage, my point is always this. Okay, I understand that you are kind of mixed person. You are Pan-African. A mom that is partly Zambian, partly Zimbabwe, a father that is Nigeria, growing up between Nigeria and Zimbabwe and all of that. But I will still be like, hey, regardless of how you want to behave, lady, you are a Yoruba woman, you are a Nigerian. So first, human being are custodian of this culture. So you must first embrace your culture and own it up. I understand that you may not grow. There is a community that shaped into who you are now. Regardless, this is who you are. I know they see my mama tell my papa say you are insensitive. It's not possible. She can't say that. But you telling me I'm being insensitive at the early stage. But now, she telling me you are being insensitive about the matter. Number one, I look at the context of our discussion at that point in time. What have we been discussing? Really, have I been sensitive? Normal, yeah, I've been insensitive. but not insensitive in an offensive way. You are being insensitive because you are not understanding the crux of the matter. So you can just take it forward from there. So you look at all of those things that you just sit back and be like, see, what do you mean when you say this? So that it doesn't
clarify everything.
yeah, so
Even
you don't
with,
say a word that
even
I
with
don't.
external family members, because I remember when I first had my daughter, first time mother, it's a new experience and everything.
Oh, yeah.
And my sister-in-law was around, and I have such amazing in-laws. Those ways, and then she comes with this. It's agbo.
Agbo, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
But agbo comes with like
This is where you just pronounce the agbo now.
with sticks and grass and stones and
oh, your precious daughter.
and I looked at it, I'm like, what is this? And she boiled it for hours. And God help me, all the African magic films that I watched in the past, this is how this is how they brew concoctions. I'm like, hey, and she put it in the bathtub. And she's, when I see my baby, I'm like, my child is not bathing with this. And my husband is there, like, no, this is our cultural, it is to help the child to be stronger, and then, there was also the bending of the baby and all these things. And, she's flexing the time. I'm moving my body like that. And like, I called my pastor and I said, sir,
I don't like what my husband
I don't understand what's going on in my family house. Because where I come from, we don't do this kind of thing. They don't do this. I'm seeing black water. I use my child to bath with black water. What's going on here? And it caused an issue. We argued about it. And I think, how were we able to resolve that thing? I think.
Okay, in trying to resolve that, when there is anything that has to be external, and I'm very, very deliberate about this.
Yeah.
It works for me, it may not work for any other person. How I shape my own house, even among friends, among associates, among every other person, especially family, is I have two families. Our family, my family. Our family is what brings me, my mother, my sisters, my brothers together. That's our family. Then there is my family. My family it constitutes of myself, my wife, and the number of children I'm going to have. So always having a line there. When my wife expresses a displeasure about something that is coming from our family, it is expected of me that she's not expected, because of the culture, to be the voice to speak to them directly.
Yeah, exactly.
I should be responsible enough as a man to be the spokesperson of my wife, to speak amicably to our family in order to gain respect for my family. So I'm always the in-between person who speaks. I'm very vocal about that. So you can't, if she says she doesn't like this thing, it's not as if I'm not going to throw up. No, you just have to accept it. Why? So she explained some things to me like, we can have it better. We should spoke with our doctor, our pediatrician, and they say, okay, there are other alternatives. And I have to address my sister. Okay, you know what? We'll use this thing maybe next week. And I'll be like, okay, yeah, we can preserve it. So from there, I was able to. So there was no rift between my wife and my sister.
And which is also a lesson for the wives as well, that because most times, especially in these multicultural families come together, there's that temptation to want to directly confront. Like I said, I come from a family where we're vocal. And when I mean vocal, I'm not talking about you're rude and no. You just express yourself. It's not a sign of being rude. It's not a sign of being
disrespectful.
Yes, disrespectful. You're just airing out your opinion about something, and you expect that, okay, as I am respecting your opinion, please respect mine. So that temptation to directly confront or speak to the in-laws is there, but then you also use wisdom and let him handle it. Likewise with me, there's issues with me. I think there's a time my mom came to stay in the house as well. There were also some issues that
yes, I can imagine.
Some issues that, because she had just come into we're waiting to get her apartment was getting ready, and she was in the house as well, at a point in time, and there were a lot of also these cultural rifts that were going on, and all of these things that I think what happened. I think there was a time where, okay, my mom loves the outdoors. Sometimes I call her. Okay, I'm going to say something. He's going to be like, why will you say this about your mom? But I've said this to her face, and she agrees with me. My mom is like a coconut. She's black on the outside, but she's white on the inside.
Very
And what I mean by this is,
Okay, I'm just imagining myself calling my mom. You're a
coconut. See, and we laugh. That's the thing. We laugh about this with my mom. With my sisters, we crack because my mom is on the exterior. She may look like, but on the inside, she's this. She's a free spirit. She's a free spirit, and she likes the doors to be open, and she wants natural fresh air and all these things. Whereas my husband is in their culture, no, you must close doors because mosquito enter, because cobwebs. Oh, my husband, he's very superstitious.
Oh yeah.
Very superstitious
on
some things. So, for example, I see cobwebs where I come from. I see cobwebs. They're just cobwebs. You kill them, but he believes cobwebs, ancestors, village people are gathering.
That's not actually true. That's not true. No, that's not true.
There's one that he said about newness. That our baby. So he said, don't let the child see themselves in the mirror at this early age.
No, I didn't. No, that was just a by the way. That was just a by the way. No, I used to see. Growing up, I used to hear things like when they look at themselves in the mirror, they have some kind of funny set of truths. Just something that you hear say. No, it's just like me saying it. Not as if I say it, saying it and doing it are different. Like you can put a baby to look at herself. They're like, do you know that when I was growing up, they told us that if babies look at themselves in the mirror, their teeth, they're supposed to have 32, right? Some of them have 34 or 36 or something like that. Yeah, it's just a mention. I do not. It's not as if I've witnessed it, but I mentioned them anyways. So mentioning it is for you that you want to do it to stop putting her in front of.
But you prefer that she doesn't do it.
No, not really. I just said what I heard. Okay. Not as if I've seen anybody.
I did it anyway.
Try this woman to try.
I did it. I'm like, look at yourself, you beautiful African baby. Look at you, fearfully and wonderfully made in the image of God. Nothing happened. He would hold back on something. I'm more daring because that's how you. They don't. There are no limits. Like there's no limits of the things that you can achieve. So just push yourself out there and do it. So you're telling me that you can't. This is your belief. Look at it, power of God. Child is going to be fine.
From the family angle.
Yes.
Oh, nice. Okay. Let me go back to my viewers. Sorry, 1 minute. Victory Francis. Thank you so much. Prime Flow Consulting Services. Aud Maybell, yay! Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining. Mercy Alta, I see you. Thank you. Stephen Ogaji, wow. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for joining. Mary Katugwa, hello, ma'am. Thank you so much. She says, beautiful program. Thank you, ma'am. Olushola Abdulkadir says, I can relate to this particular culture shock. Oh, yes. Oh, I understand that. Yes. She's Christian, married to a Muslim. Oh. So it's also a shock. I get where you're coming from. Femi, yes. Esinet's hair looks amazing. Of course, we know. Thank you so much. She's the brain behind the hair.
She actually makes the best crocs.
Yes. Let's sell you small. So if you want what Esinet is wearing, please, Femi is your plug. All right, yes. Ale Emmanuel, hi. Joshua Toby Lover, I see you. Olushola says funny couple. Chimde, thank you so much for joining. Oluwaremi Lekuntogun, thank you so much for joining. Victory Francis says Muyiwa is always looking at context of whatever you are saying. How true is that, bro?
Yeah, very true. I like context.
Okay, so you're correct, Victory. Prime Flow says correct, brother. Accolades, just
yes, now.
Wow, Mojisola Owatinwa. All right, she has a question. She says, how do you merge culture with raising your children?
I think the basis for us.
Meanwhile, you can send in questions, please.
Yeah.
Send in questions, please. We're going to treat every question you send here. Thank you so much.
So the foundation for us is Christ. And that transcends culture. that transcends traditions, that transcends everything else
Yeah.
for us. So and that's why I said we may be different in so many ways, but that joining force for us is our faith. And that's why even if we can have issues, different issues pertaining our diversity, it always boils down to, okay, so as a believer, what is God saying about this? So for us, when it comes to raising our child, it's not really, we don't consider these external. It is, what is God saying, what is God's standard pertaining to how you should raise your child. So we don't let culture interfere with that at all. Although if I would say this, I'm very hands-on, and my mom is also very hands-on when it comes to our daughter. We are intentional about the things that she's watching, and right now, I think she's like 1 year, 6 months or so. She's learned to count to 20. She knows the alphabet. She's just pushing. We're pushing her to go as far as we can, and he approves of that. And my mom used that method to raise me. And I think that's one of the things that I believe he loves about me, is the fact that I'm very diverse. And I'm trying to infuse that diversity in terms of knowledge instead of in terms of skill sets to my daughter.
Yeah.
So I'm just bringing that. So he's fully on board with the methods of teaching, because he's seeing that it works. So that's how we just, okay, so this works better, then we move with that.
Yeah, just like the topic says, unity in diversity, from a background coming from a Southern African, Zimbabwe, Zambian, and a culture coming from the Southwest Nigeria, Yoruba culture. So we have different upbringing, but we've now unified them.
Yeah.
So both of us are now coming from the same
education.
source. Now, she's no longer a Zimbabwean background person, no longer Yoruba background person. Both of us are now from Zion, because both of us have now merged our strengths. We've leveraged our strengths. What she does better, what I have better, which is an advantage for me, what's advantage for her. So in raising a child, so I think whatever is the cumulative of the both of us should be the least of what our child should be. That's what I believe in. So from the perspective of being audacious, and from the perspective of somebody coming from a culture that respect is heightened to a very high esteem, so it's a kind of forming a balance
Between the
a
two.
child who is audacious and respectful, a child who
right.
is outspoken, and a child who can also be reserved, a child who can go all out and express herself without holding back, and a child who also know
When
what
to
not to
retract.
say and when to retract.
Yeah.
So all of that is
Yeah.
finding the balance. So it's not an extreme dish to this side or an extreme dish to this side. We're finding an equilibrium. And that is going to be manifested in our childbearing. So like I said, the resulting effect that is having on our child is that we leverage our strengths individually and coming to a point of alignment.
Yeah.
So that when everybody see that child, you shouldn't need a DNA by what the child manifests. Like I said, the failure of a child may be a contributing factor of a lot of things, but at least if the home set is first made well, there's every tendency that child will not go astray.
Nuclear.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Unity in the nuclear unit of the family is important.
Nice. Okay, so guys, I hope you all have subscribed. Yeah, I said I'll keep saying this today. I will not agree. Don't agree for anybody. I hope you've subscribed, you've given me a thumbs up, you've shared this this live. Please do that. I'm sure a lot of people will gain one thing or the other from this session. Please thumbs up, subscribe and share. Thank you very much. So in what ways has your cultural differences made your marriage better? How has it strengthened you? Because I know it's not just about the disadvantages or the challenges that it comes with. I'm sure there's also strength, because the topic here is unity in diversity. There's a way to be able to unite even with diverse cultures, diverse belief systems. Just how has it strengthened your marriage?
Okay. So one of the reasons why I believe I agreed to marry him was because I knew I had a deficiency when it came to my roots. as a Nigerian. There are a lot of reasons why I married him, by the way, but one of them is I had a deficiency when it came to the knowledge of my culture, the knowledge of my people. And because I'm someone that is Pan-African, I love African culture as a whole. I can't go out there through my spoken word or through my talk and I'm talking about something I don't know about.
True.
And if you know my husband for anything, he is well versed in Nigeria. I mean, I'm talking about the traditional, the cultural, the political,
Yeah.
history of Nigeria, current affairs, you name it. He's got. You can wake him from sleep and he will give it to you, dish it out like that. So I saw that as a strong suit, and I was like, okay, if I merge this deficiency that I have, and I bring what I'm bringing to the table is the exposure, maybe from this other aspect, I believe that it makes me a stronger force. And truly, I've seen that because there are times that I'm preparing for presentations. There are times we go out together to do things. And I think recently we had we had this particular contract that we got, and then we were having a conversation with this person. The person didn't know that we were married.
Wow.
They did not know that we were married. We've done that in like 2 meetings, and we're feeding off of each other's energy. And this one is giving back. This is gross. They're like, oh wow. Then the person now goes, okay, so your name is Esther Kolade. Then they're like, the person that we know, this is Muyiwa Kolade. And we're like, you don't say. And the whole thing, we're talking and gisting. And at the end, you're like, that's my husband. He's like, that's my wife. They're like, huh? What? And the recent one was when we also had that thing. We didn't tell the person we were married. But and another thing where he does spoken word. We're in similar fields. He's into help consultancy. I'm into but with experience in the humanitarian sector as well. I'm also deeply rooted in the humanitarian sector as well. So with having these mixed conversations with this particular person, and at the end of it, I now tell him like, yeah, so this is actually my husband. He was like, what? Like, how? It's just mind-blowing because people they don't understand how much of it you can see he's outspoken.
Yeah.
And I'm outspoken. There are places that he can speak where he's such a force. There's no training. I can beat my chest to this to the glory of God. There's no training that either of us enter that at the end of that training, what the most popular name on people's lips would either be his name or would either be my name. You understand? So joining these oratory skills together, joining this love for just speaking, love for being out there has really been something that has strengthened us as a whole. So my deficiency in not knowing much about the Nigerian, which I'm learning, of course, he's helped me too. So that's been like my pillar.
Okay, yeah. From my end, coming from
Nice.
a strategic point of view, for every solution you want to provide, there comes something problem statement. So if you have not identified that it's actually a problem, there's no need for solution. This when there is actually a problem that a solution makes sense. There's no need for you to provide a solution when there's no problem. It's not as easy as people does feel like, oh, see this couple that are talking on this podcast, oh, there's unity in their diversity, there is this and that, see the way they embrace themselves. No. All of these things are just, it's like gathering data, synthesizing your findings to make an informed decision. So what we are giving our audience now is like informed decision that we've made after gathering a lot of trial, errors, and a lot of things. Do we disagree on some things frantically? I'm not talking about just saying that this and that is okay, we move on. No, we actually disagree on some things.
We just made up a few days ago.
Yeah. We actually get angry on something like, no, this doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You should have done better. You should have done it that way. So people should not see it as all of these things just come to people naturally.
Yeah.
Like she said when she opened the conversation. Marriage is just that thing that God entrusted into man. Being like, if you're able to do this at a micro level, then another thing can be handed to you on the macro level. Tell me a man said something that struck me recently. He said, if there is a place you should not lose, don't lose at all. You say
Yeah,
where
true.
your winning is more laudable is when you win at home. The winning you have at home is much more. So bringing our differences together sometimes can be daunting. Like you are trying to. I said something. I know you've. I don't know whether you have as well. Within the house. Within the house. There are some things you think as a man. All of these things will be funny. As a Yoruba man that I am, who is reserved, I want to be in my space sometimes,
You
right?
just say you're reserved.
No, I want to be
His
reserved to my
space.
space.
Outside.
Yeah, to my space.
Okay.
But
Just
Okay,
being
inside.
me here alone. For example, like let me just bring up this issue, like toilet
Please
issues.
bring it
Yeah,
up,
toilet
bring it
issues.
up. I wanna hear
yeah,
everything.
toilet issues, bathroom issues. You want to be in the bathroom to bath alone. You want to be in the toilet. Your toilet time is the time of self-evaluation, where you see yourself like, let me be this, let me just think about something.
Really?
Yeah, as a Yoruba man who also respect space, where respect comes from, you feel like when you enter a place and you shut the door, people should respect the fact that you are inside. I have a wife who is coming from a culture that is so liberal. My wife wants to talk every time. So I want to be in the toilet while I'm doing the do. And my wife wants to open the door and be. So as you were saying, I'll be like, can I be done? Can I finish? I'm in this house, right? Like, can I finish this thing and I'll come to you and we'll have the... Do you understand? It's like that. Can I be done? So all of these things, they are not things to just think like. Sometimes I stand up, I slam the door. I will be done and I will come, we will talk about this thing. I will not be talking, looking
And I'll
at
still
you.
peep. After he has slapped it, I'll still
Do
peep.
you understand? Help me in the White House attending to
White man
national interest issues. And somebody's do you understand? So you look at all of those things. Sincerely, when you don't find a problem in something, you won't get a solution. The thing is that number one, you've identified that coming from diverse background sometimes can cause problem. That is the reason why you need solution. So at the point, the point is this: it must work. That's the motto. Just like school organization have motto. Marriage motto is it must work regardless.
Yeah.
It must just work. So you now look at all of these differences. So sometimes you just have to sit yourself, wait, this is the skill you have. How does this make us better? How does it make us? Like she said, there are so many people who just call. Like this person, like she was mentioning, actually called, schedule a meeting, we were there. And we're talking. And the guy don't shake my hand more than almost 10 times. My guy, I think we are kickstarting this, we are doing this and that. So I just went to use the restroom. By the time I came back, she had told the man that I'm actually a husband. The guy was looking like, bro. This and that. And I love that because she was bringing that on a platter of speak to him, not as my husband.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speak to him if he has the value you crave. If he meets up, fine. If he doesn't meet up, he will still be my husband. But let it be that you guys are meeting on a platter that is neutral without my influence. Let it not be like,
That
I'm giving this
yeah.
thing to this guy because he's your husband though. But you've spoken with him based on what you've heard.
And that was the basis
think?
why I
Yeah.
didn't tell the person it was, so I knew that he could do the work. But I don't, this whole, this is my person. I didn't want it to be like that. So I didn't tell him from the onset. So
Yeah.
just like he said, throughout that conversation, and it was an interview, that they were having. And this man did not know it was there was no clue. So it is based on after, in fact, when he had gone to the restroom, I said, okay, so what do you think of this? I was like, I know I like him, he's smart, he's this, I think it's someone that, when I had gotten
Then
everything,
you now divulge.
that's when I now told him that, then he's like, if you had told me he was your husband, I was like, that's not it. I want it to be that. And I like sometimes when he has like interviews of, I listen in to when he's doing these maybe virtual interviews or virtual conversations, and then when he's done, he'll be like, okay, so what do you think? And we sit down, we analyze and we assess. So we're on the same wavelength when it comes to thinking. We're on the same wavelength when it comes to understanding and process.
Yeah.
We like delving in deep in whatever sphere of work we're doing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. Nice. So has this cultural difference, has it played any impact on how you express love to each other?
I'm more expressive.
Sorry, I like getting questions. I don't like jumping to answer to a question I do not know. When you say impact on love making, what exactly do you mean? Expression of
it's
love,
it's not
being expressive for
just
literally
lovemaking.
intimacy. What exactly do you mean?
Intimacy.
Oh,
Love making.
glory to God.
The whole thing.
Glory to God.
You know, it's not just love making. Really, it takes a process. It's a process.
So in my culture, okay, not my culture. Here's the thing. You see, so these are the issues. Exactly. This is the issue that I always
Which
have.
of the culture?
Yes.
When I was in
Said my
Southern
culture.
Africa, I'm like, okay, I'm Nigerian, right? And I identify as a Nigerian. This is me. And they're like, no, you're a foreigner. And then I come to Nigeria and I'm like, yes, these are my people, I'm Nigerian. They're like, no, you don't sound like us. You don't really think the way you express yourself is not, the way we do it. No, you can't be one of us. So I've always been in limbo, floating. That's why I just said, like, my husband was like, I'm just an African. I identify as an African. We know, I'm the Odogu, I'm this. I was just quiet. So I'm like, all right, no problem.
Let's go there.
When we get there, we're gonna see.
And we got there.
And we got there.
And we got there.
This man runs away after some time. He's like, what?
Well, I didn't run.
No, he does. No, he's fully, to the glory of God, he's fully capable. But I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed to be creative about our
In the other room.
in the other room. I'm not afraid to be
She's
creative,
creative.
which is something that he might be conservative on some things. He might be conservative on some things like it's like we don't do this one.
No. That's not actually the issue.
It's okay.
Yeah, that's not
What's
actually
the issue exactly?
No, that's not the issue.
My
Like I was
opinion,
saying.
your opinion. Let's hear
What's the
you.
color of the issue?
Yeah, the issue is you're trying to weigh your options and see, like, okay, these are the things that are tenable, these are the things I should do, these are the things I should not do, based on the principle that brings us up from our different backgrounds. That also has a role to play. You look like, what are you open to, what are you not open to? And especially the fact that maybe if you have not had myriad of experiences touring or done a lot over time, so there are some things that you are limited to. And some people just give in themselves to research more on some things, not just
It's
about.
not like it's about that external. It's just
it
that
can just that be like the
curiosity.
kind of experience. I know to know this. I feel read about this. Like even among our friends, we talk about all of these things, this and that. It's not as if these are people who go out to do all of those things like they do it to waste away. It's just about knowledge, about seminars they've attended. We attended seminars that are very raw. People talk Christian seminars. And people talk about all of this subject matter. This is what is you can do. This is the limit. You can do it this way. You can do it this way. And I have a wife who is a Berean Christian. After she has heard it on the pulpit, she wants to go back to the closet and open her Bible and check whether what she heard correlates with what is written here, letter for letter. So, for every seminar, just like our Father in the Lord will say that, you see what I'm going through. So after every seminar, my wife goes back home to practicalize in detail, to go extra.
Do you really want? What's the color of the thing that you want?
I know what I want, and she's been giving me. I don't need to explain too much. I have evidence. We have evidence. So our evidence is at home. So we already have evidence.
Interesting. Are you listening?
But it's a healthy balance. Yeah. Conservation. Someone that's that's conservative, and then someone that's it's just a healthy balance to life. You need that healthy balance. It brings spice.
It does.
It brings spice, because you see sex for a lot of people, like this cultural norm for probably is, women should not be as expressive, because if you express yourself, they consider you to be loose or something like that. I was never raised with that kind of mindset of thinking.
Yeah.
A lot of women have not even had conversations with their mothers about issues around sex.
Sure.
I got an opportunity. I was so close with my mom. She allowed that safe space for me to ask questions, and she gave me those responses, So when other people were falling to, astray on, the boy came and he wants to, it didn't freak me, because I've already had these conversations with my mom. So there is no, you just, lie there. You are allowed to be creative. You are allowed to enjoy this, and it does not make you lose. So, so it strengthens it's strength. It's finding a healthy balance.
Nice. I really like that. So, we'll delve into family now. Were there like clashes of expectations from family members, both sides?
Okay, shortly after our wedding, myself, my wife, we visited my sister and my mom, and from the first day, the prayer day, like my sister literally placed hand on my wife and be like, in the name of Jesus, Wabi big, Wabi better. You give birth to twins, you give
Yeah.
birth to a triplet.
That's the expectation. Like,
Expectation.
give us the babies.
For Yoruba man, you know they are praying for you at the reception. Then you should let someone be like after 9 months from
They
today,
come and
they are
carry
coming
baby.
for naming. For our mom from where she's coming from, and she's the kind of, how are you guys? I want you to
Enjoy yourself.
Enjoy yourself for a period
Enjoy your
of 2
moments.
years, 3
There's no
years.
rush.
Explore. Don't let anybody
That's
come in
how
between.
my mom was. That's how my mom is rather. Even now that we have our daughter, and then the families are still calling. We're waiting. If I not only just families, I mean church. There's no Sunday that even still up until today, I still had a woman say, "You are looking like this. Don't worry. Very soon it will enter.
Those people are
It
not
will
in school.
enter."
Don't mind them. They are not in- they are working
yeah,
according
And then
to-
when I go and
Yes.
and I go and speak to my mom about it, then she's like, "Oh, you don't need to stress yourself about that, Esne. Taking care of one child is a lot. You don't need to. So you can allow that gap for your child, so that you can allow your child to have the necessary." And she'll bring out the facts. You give your child that attention, that they need. So take time with your child, give them that attention, so that by the time the other child comes, they're even the ones telling you
Careful,
that,
yeah.
"Oh, mommy, I want another sibling." They don't see it as the child as a rival.
God forbid, I'm not talking about
So
barrenness
that
now.
is-
For that kind of parent, not having a child early is not an issue. But from where I'm coming from, if after a particular period, they are coming to your house, when you even talk, my wife is said she wants to say, "Don't worry, I send my greetings to her." It is still called cordial relationship when your mom calls you as a man. I say, give your wife the phone, let me also greet her. But when it comes to, "Oh, my wife is here, she wants to see her," no, help me greet her. It means that something is happening.
Something is
so
wrong
from where I'm coming from, it's coming from the point of, you've had one, when are we expecting the second
two.
one? And
In fact, the day that I gave birth, the day I gave birth, after everything, they congratulate. Okay, so we're waiting for the second one. I'm looking at my stomach. I'm shifting but it's from a place of love.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Like I said, I have the best in-laws. It's from a place of love. It's from a place of, we just want the best for you. But sometimes it comes out as pressure.
Yeah.
But that is where that's why for me it's a healthy balance. My mom just diffuses that. My mom would never, even with my sisters when it came to marriage, and she would never say, "Oh, it's getting late for you to get married." She never did that with any of us. It's just at the appointed time he makes all things beautiful.
True.
And that is exactly how she raised us. So no pressure. She has never pressurized me on anything. She will have a conversation about it. So that's why when he says, "Oh, you always want to have conversations, you always want to," that is how I grew up. Let's have a conversation around this thing. Let's exchange ideas. What is your standpoint? What is my standpoint? Another issue that sometimes I have is they'll tell you, like they told me, if you want to deal with a Nigerian man, Esnet, you're too weak. Esnet, you don't have backbone. Esnet, you're not streets. I was raised in a place where you have conversations. I don't need to be aggressive and shout and be crazy before I get the attention of my husband, for him to respect. I don't, and there's a time I even said, "Okay, let me even try this thing." In my head I was already laughing, so you're there and I just wanted to go.
You want to show me Chris?
I want to show him in my
The
head.
surpriser become the surprise.
Afterwards, while I was saying all these things, I was just shaking. I'm like, "Girl, what are you doing? This is stress." And I just stopped and I just decided, look, people will come with all these, this is how it should be. And then, like I said, I have the struggle of, but you are a Yoruba girl, you are supposed to do things. Yes, this is that, but I didn't grow up with this. So there's always that clash for me. So I've learned to trust God in me. You know, Bible says we have the mind of Christ. So I've learned to trust, okay, I have the mind of Christ. I know what to do. I have wisdom within me. You know, I don't have to be aggressive to be considered, you know, a good wife. I don't have to shout. I don't have to be derogatory. I don't have to, we don't do that, you know. And yes, so even when I visited his family, they are very vocal, very outspoken. You know, they're out of excitement. Another issue we had with him, when he's talking, his voice goes, and I'm like, you're shouting. I'm not shouting. This is how I talk. And I'm like, no, this is not how we have conversations where I come from.
We were born evangelists. So we were born evangelists. So we have it is a gift of God. We don't have that evangelistic voice. Do you understand? So whenever we're having a conversation, before it used to be an issue.
Yes.
Like, be like, you're raising your voice. So now, before we start the conversation, I'll be like, don't mind my tone. Get the content.
How is she not mind your
No, I'll just tell her.
It just goes up. But
so
it's
just
not,
like,
and
what I'm saying is, then you say like, it's increasing now. I told you from the start, so I'll give you a heads on. So
I'm not
sometimes it's not even out of anger.
Yeah.
It's just like,
and it's like
it
I
has
said,
to be loud so that you hear
it's like his family, because even when I was with his sisters and everything, you know, they get so excited, and when they're talking to each other,
yeah.
you know, and they're happy. I was on a call with my mom. She goes, "What's going on over there?" Are they fighting? I'm like, no, they're not fighting. They're just happy. And then when he comes and he sees me talking to my mom, you know, my mom loves, you know, I blow grandma, my mom blows grandma. My mom, you know, she's there and she's talking about these ethical issues. And, you know, during the time of this, and she's quoting this, and we're not shouting, we're just enjoying ourselves. And that's how it is. But anything that goes up, we can hear you. So many things, but you can laugh about them.
Yeah.
You know, you just have to always find a reason.
That's the beauty of
always find a
diversity.
reason to find the positive side in things.
We can't be all the same, you know.
No.
yeah, sure.
And the influence,
Fine.
yes, the influence is there. It happens so you know, you won't know. Before, when I was with my family in Zimbabwe, you know, you're eating bread and eggs. You know, you have your fork and then you're putting it on, you know, your eggs there, and then you're eating it like that. And then when my sister came back to Nigeria, and I went to set their house up and everything. And normal bread and eggs, we've not seen each other, you know, in years. And they're there eating with their, I didn't know when I took the bread and I just used my hands to rub the plate with it, and I was just eating. My sister was like,
What happened to you?
that's net. What's going on?
That's some.
And I didn't know, you know, and I didn't know that he has influenced me.
Oh,
I've got
yes,
to go and
of
throw
course.
away my fork, and I just go in there and I just eat it with so much passion.
Like, what's the beauty that you're eating beans
So much
and
passion,
bread, like
you
hot
know,
bread and
and the
beans, you have to be
portions have
using
increased.
Fork, spoon to eat beans, bread, no.
The portions of
You're
your
not-
food have increased too.
Yeah.
My mom was like, you know, because my mom is, she will never say, oh, you're fat. Or she goes, oh, Esnet, you've become healthier. You know? So that's another thing with me. I would never come to you and tell you you're ugly. So in Nigerian, you know, we here, you know, you're not fine. You're not a fine person. That was a cultural shock for me. So like, why are you saying about it? My mom would say, you know, we are all fearfully and wonderfully made in the image of God. So you always look for a tactful way to say it. He will give it to you head front.
Yeah.
Your shoes are smelly. That is, you know, and I would come from the point of, oh, you know, I have this shoe spray that you could use, you know.
Why? Where are you going to? I have this shoe spray that you could use to do what? Because your shoe is smelling. So instead of going around that roundabout, can you address the point?
Guy.
and offer the person the help that person needs?
So we've had to learn. So sometimes, you know, and I would take offense to that because I'm like, no, you can't say this to someone. And then he thinks, no, but you're lying to this person.
Yeah,
You
I don't
know?
just feel the need like,
Yes.
from where she's coming from. If you have a friend, I just feel like ladies do that a lot. When you see your friend upload a picture, she's not fine in this picture. Can ladies just agree or make it a common thing that happens between them. Telling people how they feel. Guys will do that. Guy, the way the shape of hair in this you're not too fine. You don't make them. Just tell them straight. Let them know.
I don't know about ladies. So.
That's what I'm saying. Like, can you this normalize? Do you know even like this thing that we call body?
Really
This thing that we even call body shaming. Have you noticed that it's not coming from an intergender thing? It's an intragender thing.
Yeah, true.
A guy who is fat, who has a pot belly, and a guy who has 6 packs, all built the Ronaldo's kind of body. You have your 6 pack. I have my Musmet pack. All of us have our pack. Mine is 1, yours is 6. Do you know, everybody go well with it. All of us are fine. But ladies, you are the one that have this. Have you noticed that BBL, all of these things that are doing to do what, to entice what exactly? It's not to look better for themselves, but to gain advantage of somebody to give them validation. Some of the time, these are people that don't even notice them.
Yeah.
So it happens when you look at it. So can ladies normalize telling themselves truth without actually needing to pad it? If you are told this is it, you are not this, you are not that. If you need to work on it, work on it. You don't
try.
need to work. Yeah, it's just something I feel like it's
We'll
general.
see how we can try.
We will do our best.
We will do our best.
We appreciate you. Thank
you
you.
very
Thank you.
much.
We're taking notes.
Okay, so diversity in careers. Because I know I know in Nigeria, maybe not just Yoruba culture, it's now that you see high flyers, ladies, you know, going all out and all of that. But I don't know if that's it for you or you have a differing.
When it comes to career, truthfully speaking, I think I've shared more jobs opportunity with my wife than anybody. I mean, better jobs, not any other jobs. I've spoken to. I edited her current CV. It's that better. I follow her to events where she's the lead speaker. To share how I record her when she's speaking. When she goes out to do spoken word or to give talk, I'm always the first person to listen. We listen to our errors. I do spoken word, she does spoken word. People clap sometimes, they don't even listen to the content. I'll be like, hey, what did you say? You missed your line there. We're like, yes, you get it right there. Yeah, I get it. So people seeing it as your wife must not be better than you, this and that. I think what is wrong in it that Esnet Kolade is the president of Nigeria and I'm the first man. I'm the husband of the president. Yeah. In a way, we are still together. She's my wife.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make my limbs to become 9. It doesn't make my beard to reduce. So whatever she is, and I used to tell people, it's pride for me as a man when I see my wife doing well. Somebody was talking to me somewhere. Okay, my wife went to do spoken word somewhere. The person walked up to me like, wow, I think it was Pastor because someone was like, wow, you've really influenced your wife. Like, I love the way she's doing her spoken word. I said that like when she started her spoken word, she was a reader, a spoken word reader. She writes it in book and she reads.
Yes.
I do my own off the top of my head. And I told her, you can do this. So I'm having a ministration on a Sunday. On Thursday, I just finished writing. On Friday, Saturday, I've learned it. I deliver it on Sunday. If we are going to do something together, I need to give her 2 weeks to learn it. But over time, now she can write a spoken word in the morning and deliver it first thing tomorrow morning. Because over time, I've been like, sometimes at night I will carry our baby. Okay, bring the baby, go and learn your lines. Let the baby be on my chest. Let the baby be with me. And as the pride that I take in it, I see it like, I used to tell people, whatever my wife is manifesting, I used to tell them, oh, your wife did this. Yeah, that's 1/12 of me. Because if you've not listened to me, you don't even know me. You don't know me, so you see my wife. So if I tell you the one that whatever you see my wife manifest is 1/12 of me. So in your head, I've created a subconscious view like, wow, the husband told me if the wife is like this, only God knows what that. Even if I'm no good, you've not listened to me, but you've listened to my wife. So for men who do not actually appreciate their wife when they do better than them, or they do things, like I said, I've shared more jobs opportunity. There was a time that she even had to go to the corner to go and work. When she could not even tell her father, then we're still cutting. I was the only person who gave her the push. You can go, you can do this, you can deliver. Like I said, I couldn't see I was the one who edited it. She knows. Anytime I'm on LinkedIn, I'm seeing a job, this particular thing. The first person I'm recommending, I think you fit in. Recently, we even fought on one. I know what's on your CV. I know what this job is saying. You fit into this role. If you apply for this job, you are going to do. You are getting this. You are there that you can move to something better. Just like I don't feel like I can do this, and I'm like based on these things that I've seen and this thing, it's still the same thing. Just do it, and I know that you can do it. But a man wanting to be everything and the what, and this thing is not a one size fits all anything. For some people, it works for them. But I'm just saying. But for some people, if you also think like your wife has something that she can offer, why not propel her? You have people like Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. You know why we still respect the husband? Because the husband is husband of Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. So it doesn't stop anything. If your wife is good at what she's doing, be a fuel that propels her to want you to do more, not
And I think
an inhibiting
one of the
factor.
reasons why I respect my husband a lot is initially his idea of what a comfortable woman would be, and probably, because of the influence around him as well, just gets a simple job, you finish around 2 o'clock, and then you have your shop. So you
Okay.
say things like, okay, just get that job that won't stress you or anything like that, and then I'll open a shop for you, and then that is what it is. But then, like I said, for me, it's always been high flyers. My grandmother was a high flyer. My aunties and my everyone around me, there's always just been that push for that global excellence. Be the best that you can be, not in your local. Like, just go out there. My sister worked in the US. I mean, it's out there. So he grew into this, which is what helped me to also even move more than that. So initially it's like, okay, this is the idea, and I was like, that's not me. And this is no disrespect to women that have these simple
Yeah.
jobs, that have their shop and everything that works for you. But for me as an individual, because I know my strength, because I know the vision that God has shown me, the purpose he has shown me, this picture that you have, or that you've grown around, women around you have been like this, I cannot fit into this. And that is why purpose is so important. When he understood that, okay, this is Estene's purpose, he was able to fit into this, and it has propelled me, and it is still propelling me, which is, I think that's what I would really encourage other husbands, and also women, because sometimes we feel like, okay, since this is what your spouse is saying about you, then let me just fit into that. If you understand your purpose, you should be able to talk to your spouse about it, that I love that you want this comfort for me, but where I see myself is higher than this. Where I see God, not in myself, where I see God taking me to, because you can't negate the God factor out of your life. Where I see God taking me to is higher than taking a mediocre job somewhere and then opening it. There is a higher purpose. There are different people that God wants me to speak to globally. So yeah, have these salient conversations.
Yeah.
Nice. Wow. So can you advise people who are currently maybe dating or married to someone not their tribe or a different country or something? Can you just advise them in 1 minute?
Okay, in 1 minute for me, the first thing is this: if you are still dating and you have not married, you are coming from cross-cultural, the first thing for you to do and to accept is, number one, find a point of alignment. If in your evaluation both of you cannot come to a point of alignment where you see your strength, where it can both be mutually beneficial for the both of you, don't kickstart a journey that they said a broken relationship is better than a broken marriage.
True.
Whatever we manifest in your marriage, whatever is in your relationship, is just a tip of the iceberg.
Amplified.
Marriage does not make anything change, it only amplifies whatever you already have. So it is better for you to find a point of alignment. My husband talks too much, my wife talks too much. The point of alignment is this: can two of us be a stand-up comedian? So that when he's talking, I'm also talking, they pay the two of us. If the both of you love money, then you can marry. If you know that your strength is always to fight, you are the one that cannot distract. You need a man who can always calm you down. Find a point of alignment first. And I bet you guys will always. Are there times that we have things that we don't agree on, and we have to go time like, hey, I don't like this, time we'll get angry. But she will receive a message. I receive a message. Oh, Miwa, come and do this thing. Esther, come and do spoken word. And both of us need to write the same story.
You have to
And I want
find
to
a
share,
way
okay, read this down, go through it. Does it make sense? I can't do that. At the point of sharing, okay, I think I like this storyline. When you start saying that, something goes back. Sure, you know that thing you said yesterday doesn't, I don't like it the way you. So, always find a point of alignment that can make the two of you always come to an equilibrium. If there is nothing like that, and because this is a Christian, marriage is open to it, Christian program is open to everybody. The Bible says that do not be unequally yoked with unbeliever. There are some that is not, that is a no-no. I'm not talking about whether a point of alignment or not. It's a no-no. If it is not this, it is not this. So some like that. I don't want to speak too much into that. So that for me is important. Just find a point of alignment where the two of you can actually leverage your strength.
See, for me, it would be the God factor.
Yeah.
First of all, ask all the questions you need to ask. Do all the findings you need. Don't rush into marriage. When I mean ask questions, don't go and say, like for me now, as you say, oh, okay, so what do you think about people cleaning the house? And then he goes, oh, I think that, the both of us can be cleaning the house. Go deeper. There are ways you can find out this information much more. Go deeper, do your findings, ask questions. And like my husband rightly said, you see, the God factor is what is keeping us. Because no matter how difficult or different these things are, the Holy Spirit will come and speak to me. He will say this. And because I am submitting, find someone who submits to the Holy Spirit. Find someone who submits to the Holy Spirit. Because if he cannot or she cannot submit to the Holy Spirit, you are in trouble. You just don't say, oh, I'm going to date this Christian and I'm just going to live my life. There are marriages that are suffering terribly because one of the spouses cannot submit to the Holy Spirit. Because if you are submitting to the Holy Spirit will tell him, yes, you people, this is how you eat or something, or this is how you are cooking this thing. Don't do it like this, or move past this. Like I said, I love cooking with ginger and garlic and all those things, but it's been a while that I did that.
And our food is still sweet.
And it's still sweet. Other than that, I realized too that he doesn't like the chunks of it. But there's a way that you blend it in, and you're like, this thing is like, oh, I put ginger and garlic in it. And he likes it. You understand? So there's that point of the wisdom and submitting to the Holy Spirit and
to teach us all things.
Teach you and to be able to agree when you are wrong.
Nice.
Don't be defined by your cultures. Don't be. Yes, they make us who we are, in terms of we are Africans, we are Nigerians.
Yeah.
This is who we are. We cannot lose sight of that. But beyond all those things, we are Christians, born of God with the mind of Christ.
Glory. Thank you. Felt like we've entered church. Glory to God. Okay. Nice.
Thank you.
Lovely conversation here. Thank you so much. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank
you
so
for
much.
I enjoyed every bit of this session. Thank you. Thank you for blessing us with your candid opinions, the stories, experiences. And guys, this is true life stories. It's true life. I mean, from the horse's mouth. They're not horses though. Okay. So yeah, I'll just read up what we have in the comment section before we go. Ochade Osaibo, please don't forget, if you have not subscribed, subscribe to my channel. I'm in for you today. Subscribe and like. So many times I see the views and I'm looking at my likes. I'm like, okay, what happened? I should be getting this number of likes. So I guess some people forget to like, which is very valid. I do that sometimes. It's after I'm like, oh, I didn't like. I go back and like, and then subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Okay, thank you so much. Ochade Osai, thank you so much. I see you. She says, sweet sis for correct bro, my people. You're the sweet seeds for the correct bro. Oh, Tony. Oh, hello, ma'am. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you very much, ma'am. Ibn Abbas says we are from Zion. I like that. Yeah. Have that at the back of your minds. We are from Zion. That's our culture. So we have
Citizen culture.
Yes, the earthly culture, the earthly belief systems, but ultimately there's one culture. And we are all from Zion. Okay, yeah. Let's uphold that culture. Ajisafel Lawale says, wow, very balanced submission from the couple on the benefit and management of diversity. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. We have Emmanuel Oreva Ejoma. Hello, I see you. Thank you for joining. Ibn Abu said we are learning so much. Yes, we are. Thank you for acknowledging that. Ajisafel Lawale. Okay, he just laughs. Okay, and then Omoni Wabanki says when two friends get married. Yeah, explosive, right?
That's
yeah.
our colleagues out there.
Oh wow, nice! Thank you so much for joining. Indeed, we are product of both nature and nurture. That's a very good one. Thank you so much. And not to Mark, I see you clearly. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for joining. So much laughter. Ibn Abu says. Please laugh. It's a good medicine for the soul. Laugh. Stephen Ogaji says purpose should be aligned and each must support the other to fulfill their destiny.
That's right.
That's key. It's support. It's not a competition. We are there to support each other, right? We are a team. We cannot be doing things in isolation. We are a team. We are in it together for a purpose. All right. Yeah. Thank you, sir, for that submission. Esther Owojaye, I see you. Thank you. Very key point of alignment. So true, sis. So true. Ibn Abu says the God factor, my biggest take home. Yes. The God factor cannot be taken out of this. You have to. He's the one that originated marriage. He's the one that originated it. So he has the blueprint. You have to always go back to him to check, to realign. Oh yeah. Amazon says very interesting discussion. I have learned. I'm so happy to hear that. Thank you so much for joining. Ibn Abbas says excellent, wonderful couple, great delivery. We appreciate your total honesty. Yeah, we do appreciate you. Thank you so much. Majisafe says solid and sound couple. Thank you for giving us value in the session. Thank you so much, sir. Stephen Ogaji says ability to respect and submit to the Holy Spirit is critical for a successful marriage. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you very much. I will come to the end of this session. It just felt like we shouldn't stop. Like we should just go on and on. There are still some things we needed to discuss, but I had to just pick. Thank you so much. I'd like to appreciate you for gracing this. Okay, I don't want to say we're small, but gracing us with your presence. We appreciate you, and so much has been learned, so much has been said, so much has been caught, I believe, and we just pray that God will keep you guys together. Bliss. It's going to be blissful all the way. Thank you so much for coming. And as our culture, we have this little token. Okay, this is Esinet. So this is for you. Okay. And this is Muiwa.
We'll keep them away from our daughter.
Yes, please.
Conversation.
Thank you so much.
Just
for
a little
this.
souvenir to say we are grateful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming on our show, guys. Was that wow or not? Okay.
Do I need to tell our viewers that we have a trademark handshake, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Please do your thing.
It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, up, down, go. The rest, PG-18. Okay.
Please complete it. It's okay. It's fine.
Okay, so just go this way.
He's shy. You see the shyness.
You're shy. Are you serious?
Why shall I say?
And you brought it up. I don't understand. Please complete it.
No, PG-18, we don't know. There's no restriction. We don't know who, the kids may be watching.
Okay. I understand that. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. To our sponsors, we so grateful. Thank you so much, Video Media Bolu, my sweet darling Bolu. Thank you so much for being consistent, for just being there for me. Thank you for candid conversations with Liz. We're so grateful to you. Maji, my darling, thank you very much. Techly, thank you so much for everything you do. Braids by Teddy, thank you very much for everything you do for us here. We're so grateful. As it is with us, we come to your screen, we grace your screen every last Sunday of the month. Yes. And I hope we'll be seeing more of you every time we have an episode like this. I have a lot of new viewers here. People have not seen before. I'm sure it's because of you. But please, I'm just saying this. We have these conversations every last Sunday of the month, and would love to have you join us every time. If I could get your numbers, I would get your numbers and send you reminders. Thank you so much. And don't forget, thumbs up or subscribe. Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So love is a beautiful thing, a very beautiful thing. All you just need to do is nurture it and watch it blossom.
Yeah.
Love, marriage takes work. Thank you so much. Till we meet again, till we grace your screen again next month. This is me, Liz, saying bye.
Bye.